This is Dr. J, wanting to express my appreciation to Missio students, since this is Student Appreciation Month. As I thought about this little video, my mind sort of drifted back to 9 years ago when I was first visiting what was then Biblical Seminary. I was a candidate as president. And one of the things that they planned for me was to meet with students at Joy in the City. So I went down to Joy in the City and I met with probably 35 students. It was really planned to be a kind of meet and greet, about 15-20 minutes just to say hello and let folks get a look at who might become the president. It probably was close to 2 hours later that I finally left. And I had the time of my life. The students were wonderful. They asked pointed, provocative, important questions. And one of the things that I saw was that the students had sort of so embraced missional theology. They were talking about how it had shaped their own ministries. They wanted to know what I thought about all of that. They asked great questions, and it was a wonderful time for me. And one of the ways I knew that something had happened is that when I walked out a couple hours later, I did what I always do, is I made a quick phone call to my wife to give her an update. She was up in Boston, where we were living at the time. And I just said, hey, just finished a meeting with the students. And my wife's first response was, something's happened. Your voice has changed. And I realized that my excitement at being with Missio students, that it had transferred through the phone lines, through my cell phone, and had caught my wife's attention. She realized that something had really excited me. And from that moment, I was all in. I had just encountered the kind of student that I had always loved. It was a wonderful moment for me. And I remember just thinking about the kind of energy that the students brought. One of the things that I often talk about is I want the seminary to be a safe place to ask hard questions. And the truth is, this seminary, these students, you students, have never disappointed me. You've always been willing to ask the hard questions. And one of the things I love about all of that is that it really requires a community to do theological education. We have to do it together. Professor, students, talking, engaging, listening, learning from one another. And that's one of the distinctive features of Missio Seminary. It's one of the things I love, and I love about our students. Well, if I were to sum up my feeling about Missio students, here's what I would say. I would say I love Missio students. I love your minds, I love your hearts, I love your energy, I love your spirit. We live in a world that is complicated, full of division, right and left. It's just all kinds of stuff going on. But when I spend time with students, I always walk away with my hope renewed. So thank you for that. I am most grateful for Missio Seminary students. God bless.
I've been at Missio Seminary for almost 16 years. And one of the biggest joys I've had during this period of time is being in the classroom with Missio students. What a great group of people. Their diverse perspectives, their love for Jesus, their love for ministry, and their love for each other. It has been a delight for me over this period of time to follow Jesus into the world alongside such a great group of people.
When I think of the students in the Graduate School of Counseling at Missio Seminary, I think of the word empathy. There's such a deep concern and passion for people. And I think this is really reflected in first an understanding of God's love for each of them and their desire to partner with God and share that love, serve as agents of healing in the world. And so I admire so much how they are balancing ministry, family, jobs, relationships with their studies, and yet faithfully recognizing that The Lord provided this opportunity for education, for further education, in order for them to be further equipped for service. So, Missio students, we love you. We consider it such a privilege to walk alongside of you through your journey in this program. May God continue to richly bless you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Chad HINSON. Just want to take time to just thank you, Missio students, for the wonderful, rich commitment you have to academic excellence, as well as what you bring to the table. I have learned immensely in every class I've taught. The learning has been mutual. Thank you for deepening my life and growing my spiritual development as a leader. Again, I just want to encourage you to continue to be faithful, continue to be diligent in your studies, and I assure you the best is yet to come. Remember, we are continually to follow Jesus into the world. Be blessed.
Hey there, Todd Mangum here, Professor of Missional Theology and Academic Dean at Missio Seminary. You know, I spend most of my life and working hours at Missio working with students, teaching students. Today I'd like to talk about our students a little bit. You know, our moniker, our byline at Missio is following Jesus into the world. Our students at Missio sign up for training to follow Jesus in the world, and that is for real. Our students are on the front lines of ministry. Many of our students come to Missio Seminary for frontline ministry training and theological deepening and biblical understanding increase, often at great sacrifice, and coming from a variety of backgrounds, denominational backgrounds, racial backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds that are different, cultural backgrounds and perspectives that are different. And it's just electric in the classroom when you get the admixture of people that love the Lord, are serious about their education, and engage with maturity. It is really a privilege and honor to teach such students at Missio Seminary, and I believe our student body is unique, really from anywhere in the world, with the kind of makeup, seriousness of study, and maturity, as well as variety of background and representation. So it is great to be a teacher, and it's humbling to minister with such a student body.
So why do I love Missio students and so much enjoy teaching them? One word: maturity. I don't mean by that our students are typically older than, say, typical graduate student or college student. All seminaries have older students these days. I mean that our students are psychologically and spiritually mature. They've been formed by a walk of faith in the difficult circumstances of life. They are not only parents, for the most part, but many of them are actually active church leaders already. Some are head pastors, some have founded their own churches, some are involved in urban setting in deep crisis counseling type situations. These are mature people. They come and bring with them mature questions to ask about the study that we do, study of the Bible, study of theology. Yes, we have to study a lot of kind of academic topics and arcane issues. When do we date Galatians? Or does Paul think in terms of an ordo salutis in his doctrine of salvation? But my students will keep my feet to the fire and force the topic back to what is the payoff? What difference does this make in the church, in the city, in our divided world? Right? This is super important for me as a professor, but it's also for you as a student, or for you as a potential student. Who do you want to study with? What kind of colleagues do you need around you in the classroom? Well, I think the answer is clear. We need to be surrounded by mature people who force us to ask the deepest and most important questions. That's why I love teaching Missio students.